I want your attention for this one. When Ricky Gervais riled up the elite Hollywood crowd with his monologue at the Golden Globes back in 2020, I don't think even he knew how correct he'd be proven in the years since. And that's exactly what I want to explore today, revisiting 4 key moments from that incredible speech that exposed the duplicity of the industry on a whole host of hot-button topics. Just take a look at this before I tell you how.
You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a girl Vermo, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today I'll be reacting to Freedom Frontline, and we have Gervais, WRECKS, Hollywood, and WokeCulture in a futuristic speech. Oh my goodness, can't wait to get into the video. But before we get started, we have some amazing people watching us for the first time. If you are new to the channel, I am Vera. I do reaction videos. If it's something that you love, why not join Veracity? Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell, so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's, guys, let's go.
I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. NBC clearly don't care either. 5th time. So, I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello? Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English, and they've no idea what Twitter is, so I got offered this gig by fax. So let's go out with a bang, let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel.
There's a connecting thread there that some may have missed, and I think it ties perfectly into what we saw in Hollywood in the 4 years since Kevin Hart's firing as the host for tweets he made a decade ago was perhaps the one thing that made Ricky Gervais turn his cannon to Hollywood. If you look at Ricky's monologue at the 2016 or 2012 Golden Globes, you see him hold back and laugh with the celebrities rather than at them. You can imagine how taking Hollywood's cancel culture head on means striking at the knee of the moral self-righteousness that's driving it. Is it any wonder then that the person who's hosting the Golden Globes 5 times is never invited as a host again after 2020? I think Ricky understood that as well when he decided to go off the approved script and make a last-ditch attack on cancel culture by destroying the moral high ground it comes from. And perhaps it's something he deserves credit for, because cancel culture's power and sway has certainly diminished in the last 4 years rather than strengthened. There's a few sensitive topics that the Hollywood elites want no one to talk about, and that's why they become their weakest point for someone like Ricky to exploit. That's probably what he went for with this next bit.
Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, 2 popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't.
Because of a tweet he made years ago. Because of a tweet he made years ago. Like, it sounds hilarious. Or am I the only one that feels that way? Sounds crazy. I'm glad that he's actually calling them out right now. I am so glad. Let's go on.
I don't care. I don't care. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist.
Wow.
So, 5th time. So, we were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. It just, no. It was mostly white people. And I thought, nah, not on my watch.
That's hardly even a surprise. Hollywood's obsession with some warped notion of diversity has been around for a long time, but really went into overdrive with the #OscarsSoWhite saga back in 2016. But I think there's something deeper that Ricky's pointing to here, and it's been proven right since. When you're a star in Hollywood and live in a bubble that's very disconnected to the rest of the world, you need something to claw on when it comes to feeling good about yourself. You want to wield and wave a flag or a torch that makes you feel virtuous, and the easiest way to do that is to take the racial divisions that exist in the rest of society and lecture them from high above. The result? We've seen these identity-based diversity and inclusion requirements make their way to the very top of the Hollywood ladder, with even the Oscars soon requiring films to meet their representation and inclusion standards To qualify for nomination, a part of those standards read, and I quote, "At least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles are from at least 2 underrepresented groups, which may include women, racial and/or ethnic group, LGBTQ+, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, who are deaf or hard of hearing." Do these celebrities or directors really care about those groups on a collective basis? I don't know, but seeing Ricky Gervais poke fun at this attempt by Hollywood to look good to themselves and the audience is certainly refreshing to see.
No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, "Well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night." But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
You can feel the
I love the way he's just spilling out these things. Like, okay. Crazy
discomfort behind those 4 smiles, and it's incredible that Ricky would even bring up Epstein at a time when that idea was largely a fringe conspiracy. But now, 4 years later, with the release of the flight logs for Epstein's Island, Hollywood was certainly not exempt from having a very dark shadow of doubt cast on many people. There's something to be said for how Ricky was able to throw that out there, almost predicting what would become clear years later. When you look at a list of the celebrities who are confirmed to have visited the island, you realize that there's certainly more to these dolled up and dressed up celebrities than meets the eye. The names on those logs include people like Cate Blanchett, Naomi Campbell, David Copperfield, Cameron Diaz, and even Leonardo DiCaprio.
Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show, a superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and
this was scarily accurate, not the sweatshops part, but the overarching idea that big tech giants are comfortable exploiting worker protection loopholes in foreign countries for cheap labor. In the case of Apple in particular, we saw that come forward just 2 years after the Golden Globe event, when the manufacturing company that makes Apple devices, Foxconn, was embroiled in a massive controversy around their workers in China working in horrid and cramped conditions in tall, close buildings. And at least 20 cases of Chinese workers jumping from the windows of those buildings to end their lives were documented. In a case that lifted the garb of humanitarianism and environmentalism that these companies put on, it's clear that when Ricky Gervais takes the mic, there's no one shielded from his comedic jibes, and while it's true that many of his jokes are made at the expense of the audience in attendance, it at least gives the rest of the people watching a sense of reflection at having their own voice projected in the room. The audience is tired of having rich celebrities talk down to them on things like the environment while they jet around on private flights, or having social ideology shoved down their throats when they come to enjoy a movie they make. At some point, people have had enough, and so has Ricky Gervais. He may not have secured another chance at hosting the Golden Globes, but he did get to make a segment that will outlive any other memory made at the award show like this.
Oh my gosh. I love Ricky. I mean, he tells it as it is. No sugarcoating of any kind. And he's not scared to actually speak out. I love that. This proves that Ricky stands for the truth. And the truth is that he's totally right. Everything he said. Like, I feel like watching this over and over again. People should definitely listen to this. I love the line he said at the end, go on, get drunk, do your drugs, F off. I mean, you gotta love the balls in this man. I love the fact that he was calling out the bullshit. Of course, in a very funny way. He destroyed them and they pretended to laugh. How pathetic. Excellent. This was awesome. What do you guys think about this? Drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up and please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, join WRECKS. Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that, guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.